The ingredients you will need to make this candy will be listed in the description box below the video. This candy is a vintage old-time recipe that my husband's grandmother used to make every year for Christmas. Before she died, I asked her to give it to me, and so I could continue to make it for my husband. He loves this candy. Here I have a baking sheet or a cookie sheet lined with wax paper. And the recipe does not call for this, but I wanted to spray some olive oil cooking spray onto the pan so that whenever I laid down the wax paper, it would stick and the candy mixture wouldn't cause the wax paper to slip around whenever I got ready to spread it out. This was a very good idea. You don't have to do that, but I recommend it. In this large pot, I have 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1 stick of softened butter, and I'm fixing to pour in 1 tablespoon of light corn syrup. Might seem like a lot of sugar, but that's what makes this candy so rich and so good. Next, I pour in a cup of buttermilk. And then I'm going to pour in a tablespoon of baking soda. Now you want to use baking soda. You don't want to use the powder. And there is a candy thermometer that I've stuck to the side of my pot. And in a moment I will show you that you have to let this candy come to soft ball stage. Here I'm going to show you where that's at. There's a little line on the candy thermometer that says softball. That's where you need to let this thermometer rise to. Another way to check for softball, besides using the candy thermometer, there's the little line. You can use ice water. And then you can pour in, actually take your spoon once. If you let this cook for like 25 minutes, then you take your spoon, kindly pour in a little bit of the candy mixture into the ice water, and if it forms little balls that you can kindly squish around and play with in your hand, softball stage. Okay, make sure you stir this all up well. Get everything incorporated. Oh, and start this out on medium to low heat, because people, if you start it out on high heat, it's going to burn the sugar. Trust me, I know that. I had to dump my first batch because of that. I had to start all over again. And there I'm showing softball. Okay, finally stuck it to the side. However, my pot was a little bit too tall, and I had to rig up a way, which you will see in a little while, of how I actually got the candy thermometer down in the mixture without me having to stand there and hold it down in there, which wasn't a very good idea. Okay, right here, when it first starts out, you want to stir this quite often, I mean frequent. It's going to come to a frothy, foamy boil. So, and you want your candy thermometer down in that at least a couple inches in order to get a good reading. So you just let that start cooking and let it come to a boil. It'll get foamy. There I'm showing you that my pot was actually just a little bit too tall. But my clever idea of getting my candy thermometer down in there, it worked. But make sure you've got a tall enough pot that your candy mixture won't boil over, because if it does, you know what you got to do? You got to get to that fire extinguisher, because your house is going to catch on fire. Sugar and fire don't mix, or burners don't mix. There it is, you just let it cook. And cook and cook and cook. It takes it about a good 25 minutes, maybe a little better, to get to softball stage. And there I'm having a little trouble with my candy thermometer. As you can see, I'm having to hold it, which was not something I wanted to stand there and do, for a few reasons. One being that the pot was getting hot, and another reason it was tiresome, and the other reason it was just plumb stupid. There, ignore that part, people. I'm trying to show you something on the back of that thing, but my camera wouldn't focus it in good, so just ignore it. It was just telling you what the temperature was for chicken and turkey. If you get a candy thermometer at Walmart or wherever, you can read that for yourself. Okay. Let's get on with it here, Charlotte. Okay, there I go again. I'm standing there holding it like a nut. Don't do that, people at home. You might get burnt. Right here, had a clever idea. Why not use a bread tie? There's a little hole in the top of that yellow part there. I just put that through that hole and I wound it around my pot handle and look at that. It works. Bright idea. Light bulb come on in my brain, and I tell you what, save those bread ties, people. You never know what they come in handy for besides tying up a bread bag. Now here, the mixture has begun to change to a brownish caramelish color. Caramel. So that's what you want, that caramel looking color. If you have not reached the caramel looking color, you have not cooked it long enough. That right there would be a good moment to start checking for softball in ice water when it starts coming to a brownish caramel color. Just let it continue to stir. Keep an eye on that softball line, a temperature line going up to softball. You can stir it every now and then. Just, you don't have to do it so much. Okay, now I've took it off the heat. After you take it off the heat, you put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you can add in just a pinch of sodium, or salt. Salt. You can add in just a pinch of salt. It's optional, you don't have to. And right here, I added in my pecans. I use pecans because that's what his grandmother used, and this pecans really makes the candy. But you can use any kind of nuts you want. And I'm telling you, people, the nuts, those nuts make this candy. As you're stirring this up now, right here, when it's took off the heat, and you've added in your nuts and your vanilla and your pinch of salt, you have to work kind of quickly because this starts wanting to set up on you, and it gets kind of tough. Right here, I'm pouring it out on the baking sheet. And with my great tip of the day to use that olive oil spray, my wax papers stayed in place. And right there, I'm just pouring out that delicious candy. And it's fattening. This is not a diet recipe. I mean, if you're looking to lose weight, please don't watch this one. Because this candy, if you eat enough of it, people, it will put the pounds on. You have to eat it in moderation. Just a little bit at a time. Most people wouldn't be able to eat this probably too much at a time anyway. It's so sweet, but there are some people that can. I don't know, but anyway, if you are one of those people that can handle it at one time, go for it. And anyway, you just spread that out as evenly as possible. And just get it all spread out there. But warning, if you go for it, this is unhealthy. So, just warning, it's candy. It's sugar. So beware. And here you go. It's buttermilk candy, old-fashioned time buttermilk candy. If you have not tried this recipe, you ought to give it a try. It is a unique candy.